How the Red Devil are we, everybody? Good evening and welcome back to Forever United TV and another live show where tonight we're talking Manchester United's injuries and how it's not even a problem. How we shouldn't even be thinking like the same old is returning again. We've got cover, we've got options. We should not be worrying. We're going to talk about transfers. We're going to talk about the opportunity for other players to come through. Why? Because we've got a new head coach, and Ruben Amorim isn't going to look at injured players the same way I don't think that Erik ten Hag was. It's definitely not going to be used as an excuse. All I see here is opportunity for Manchester United. And you know what? Bring it on. Because if injuries are going to be your excuse, not playing in the right system, or being behind someone else in the team is going to be your excuse, keep adding them into that outbox, because that's the box that you're in for leaving the bleeding football club. So sling your bleeding hook, everyone. Calm down, Adam. Come on. We only got a draw against Ipswich. I'm still literally on a high from this morning's show, to be honest. I can only see positives. It's strange. I know. There's a lot of negatives. Some people actually call me negative. I just say things as they are. If you tell me something straight to my face, I will give you credit for it. I won't complain. You've told me straight. I understand it. I can see why you've said it. And that is what we've got in charge of our football team right now. A man that just gets right to the point and says it as it is. I love it. I know it's not going to be easy because I'm going to be defending him when we're going to have some bad games. But what did he say? We are going to have bad games in this season. We all knew it. We're going to lose games. We've got an absolute nightmare of December in terms of fixtures. Still making top four. I'm telling you right now, still making it. Enthusiasm, optimism, everything is there for me right now. You know what? I was just looking at the squad list for the players that are leaving for the under-19s. Under-19s qualifying Champions League sort of version for that level and that age group. They're flying out to Ajax tonight to play as AZ Alkmaar. Ethan Wheatley, Amir Ibrahimov, Jack Fletcher, Reece Monroe, Gabe Bayankere, Jacob Devaney, Jaden Kamasan, Lewis Jackson, Habib Agwanye, James Scanlon, Bendido Mantato, all part of United's under-19 travelling squad, including Chido Obi Martin as well. And do you know what? I look at that. You look at that Kakonki getting part matchday squad. And all this falls into line with what I feel is an opportunity for a lot of these young players and an opportunity for other players within Manchester United's squad. You could laugh this off, but Harry Maguire's coming back. I want to see how Harry Maguire does under Ruben Amorim. I want to see how all of these players do under Ruben. I want to see how Anthony does under Ruben Amorim. I said this earlier on today. People will constantly laugh off the Anthony thing. They'll laugh off the Deadwood and all of that. The issue at Manchester United at the moment, I've just done a tactics show on Big Up right now. The biggest issue that we've got right now at United, and it's the hardest one of all to dissect, and it's the hardest one to actually rectify, and that's the forward line, that's the goals. The goals take pressure off everything. I mean, you look right now, City not scoring as many goals as they once did, and the games are becoming a little bit tetchy, they're coming a bit tighter. They're actually losing games. When you've got that out-and-out goal scorer, you've got a striker or a player like Mo Salah, for God's sake, who just keeps on scoring. Look where Liverpool are. They're not exactly blowing teams away, are they? They were losing to the bottom of the table team Southampton, and they were clinging on. But for a crazy VAR decision, Liverpool might have been beaten. City scraping it against Wolves. You know what? Liverpool losing at home to Nottingham Forest is, look, when the strikers are scoring, the game becomes easy. That's United's problem. The system, I feel, is what we need to look forward to more and building up to that point. Look, we will go out and we will rectify the forward issue when it comes to the transfer market at the end of the season. There are possibilities and other options we've got in that forward line right now, and we could probably bring them in. There probably will be a chance for us to actually bring forwards in from the academy, an opportunity, play different people that we've got in the squad right now up front. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Rasmus play instead of Marcus Rashford. All of this coming in, I just look at it as one big plus point. And I just want to make sure that people see this for what it is right now and how positive it really is. I'm going to keep banging the drum. I don't want you to be fully convinced. You can always shout me down and come back at me. Obviously, I understand that, and I get why people are not convinced yet. Look, everything has been said and done after the game yesterday, and we're now looking ahead to the Bodo Glimt game on Thursday night. Europa League is important for United. Of course it is, because well, Champions League football awaits and a trophy. And yeah, I'm sorry, if Spurs are the best team in this competition, then we can definitely fancy our chances of winning the Europa League. We've already said that all along, haven't we, really? We fancy our chances in this comp because there is no one dropping down out of the Champions League. So, looking ahead, let's get into the news first of all and what is happening with the injury situation with Manchester United. Some people got a little bit downbeat because we got the news earlier on, and I'll just read it out from United Menace, one of our mods and members from the channel here on Forever United TV as well. He does pop in every now and then, but he's the one with the inside info and on the ground in Carrington to let us know what's happening. Lisandro Martinez will be out for around 2 to 3 weeks, depending on discomfort and rehab. Spinal injury, not that serious. 2 to 3 weeks. He's back in 2 weeks, basically. Don't worry, don't panic. Like, were you worried about that defence yesterday? Did you think that we were really overrun in that back line? Look, all I'm going to look for next, and the next headline underneath this one says everything you need to know and why you don't need to worry. And that is that Lenny Yoro has not suffered a setback despite not being included, versus Ipswich in yesterday's Premier League game. He is continuing planned reintegration following the injury he sustained during pre-season. Lenny Yoro is fine. Lenny Yoro can step into the fold. I actually want to get your thoughts. Me and Jay touched on this last night, and in the chat tonight, I want to get your thoughts on Luke Shaw being a centre-back going forward this season. I seen how much work both wing-backs needed to get through in that game against Ipswich, and I thought straight away, first thing that came into my mind, you ain't seen Luke Shaw on that wing. He ain't bombing up and down them sidelines, I'm telling you right now. I mean, end product was pretty poor with Luke Shaw as it was. I mean, his assist rate was shocking for a player that's supposed to be absolutely brilliant carrying the ball forward. I do think he's comfortable with the ball at his feet, Luke Shaw. I really do. And if he's fit, he's dangerous and a great defender, actually. But never fit, and I just don't see him being able to be that ball carrying for left wing back for Manchester United. Not a chance in hell. But tell me, as a centre back, what are we saying? Is Luke Shaw going to fit in? That's why he played when he came on yesterday. I wasn't surprised when he came on and played in that position, by the way. I do feel like he's made for that position right now. The age that he is, the fact that he's got these injuries that he's carrying, he doesn't have to work as much. He doesn't have to bomb up. I mean, we didn't see the centre-backs going forward at all yesterday, did we? It was a non-starter for anybody moving out of that back line. So really positive that we have got players that are sticking to the shape. I think no one's drifting out of position. And like Ruben said yesterday, these players have got to adapt and got to learn new roles. Like Dalot was struggling because he's used to tucking in and playing as an extra midfielder. I mean, there were times when Dalot was the furthest man forward at centre forward under Erik ten Hag, and now he's the furthest man forward as a wing back. So he has to learn it. But you know what? I'm just going to let you into a conversation me and Kaz were having before, actually, when we were talking about what players we feel are at threat in this side. I personally do believe that Dalot is on that list of players. We were questioning the sort of footballing IQ and everything that Dalot is bringing at the moment. And you do have to question whether or not Dalot is capable of holding down that wing-back role. I mean, I've got a lot of time for Dalot. He works hard. He grafts. I just need him now. I need to see more. I need to see consistency from him now. I think that's the same with a lot of fans and a lot of these players. It's like, yeah, we've seen moments, but we're done with moments. We don't care about the odd goal here and there. We don't care about the odd man of the match performance here and there. It needs to be consistently going up all of the time. Otherwise, you are out of the team. It's part of parcel of this new system that's in place right now. You're out of the team if it does not work for you, then there is someone else to come in and replace it. That's the mentality I want at the football club right now. Looking over your shoulder, who's on the bench, damn. And that's why I was a bit gutted that these players really didn't give more than what they gave yesterday. Because there are some players I thought that were struggling. Now, obviously, there is that comment that Ruben Amorim came out with. Look, they were thinking too much about the positions that they were in, and they naturally didn't look like they worked as hard as what they should. They want to do it, but they're a bit confused about what to do, when to go, where to go on the pitch. And that was his excuse for Manchester United having the lowest running stats in the league yesterday. I think it was 102 kilometres or something like that. I think Jamie Redknapp picked up on that one. out of the Sky punditry after the game. But by the way, Ed Sheeran has apologised. I love that, actually, that Ed Sheeran did come out and apologise and called himself a bellend. He didn't realise. God, why can't we have more people in the world like that? Honestly, just killed it dead. Like, he didn't realise. He's come on TV and now he feels like a bellend. He's sorry, we move on. That's life. Well said, Ed. Move on, mate. No problem at all. I just feel like it just added to the negative vibe around Ruben Amorim in that interview process and that moment yesterday. And I was just like, oh, God, that just looks awkward. It really does look awkward, doesn't it? And yeah, back to what I think of the players though. And Dalot, I think, is one of them players that is, I think the spotlight's on him. I think the pressure's on him as well, massively right now. Because I can really see Ahmad holding down that role on the right-hand side. There will be times when Ahmad's pushed forward into one of the 10s. We know he will be. We have to rotate. And Amorim has said this as well. We'll have rotation of players in positions, not just players replacing players. There'll be rotation within the system of these players doing numerous roles as well, I feel. And I think that's important to remember. I think Ahmad will hold that place down now. I think his defensive work was exemplary, apart from an absolutely exquisite ball over the top, which created that chance for Delap, which was a superb save from Manana. I thought Ahmad's defensive performance was outstanding. I think it was as good as he was going forward. One of the players that did actually look good in that system. But I feel Mazraoui is going to take the other side. And that's the issue that I've got. Well, not so much an issue, but I think that's the issue for Dalot in this right now. I feel like he has got a lot of work to do to convince Ruben Amorim that he's the right man for that role. He will work. He will work. And I feel like he will actually, I think he will knuckle down and give himself the best chance that he possibly can. I think that is going to be, I think that's going to be a big challenge for him, but I'm worried for him at the moment. I'm not worried as a United fan. Like, every player should be worrying about their position in the team right now. But I think Mazraoui will take the left-hand side. And whether Dalot comes in and Ahmad moves further forward on the right, more of a natural position for him, I don't know. I've never really I mean, don't get me wrong, Dalot's played well on the left-hand side at times, hasn't he? But still, I feel like the right-hand side is where he's better. But yeah, I'm concerned for him in that side of it. Pedro Oliveira, welcome to the Members Club, my friend. Love that. In terms of the players and Lisandro Martinez being out, I thought Evans was quite slow yesterday. We've said that earlier on. The positive you've got is Lenny Yoro, like we just said there. He's not injured. He is going to be coming back. Not coming back, but he is going to be coming into the side quite soon. We could see him against Bodo Glimt. We might see more of Luke Shaw against Bodo Glimt as well. And we have got more than enough cover. Lisandro Martinez, a couple of weeks out. That was going to take us into the City game, isn't it? That pretty much. Around about the 15th of December, I think we've got Man City away. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's actually available for that one, if he's up for selection. So Lisandro out, but Yoro to come back in. Obviously, Harry Maguire is possibly going to be available for Bodo Glimt as well. So we've got cover at centre-back there now with Shaw, Maguire, Evans, all being fit, Yoro being fit. So no drama whatsoever, no panic. And I would definitely not going to be building up a case for having a mass sort of panic on injuries again. I think it's an opportunity. I think Ruben Amorim will give other players their chance. And I bet you, and you can clip it up right now, I bet you won't see as many injured players this season under Ruben Amorim as we did last season under Ten Hag. I do believe, like, remember the rumours that were going around? Remember the rumours Wayne Rooney, Graham Souness was talking about players that we know for certain were faking injuries. Remember them conversations? I feel like that actually could be a thing with what was going on at the time when Man United, especially around that FA Cup sort of period. And we all know that United did turn up in that final against City. But that was like the big stage, wasn't it? Let's just get ourselves ready. We don't want to risk anything in the build-up to the cup final because we want to be playing at Wembley. It was a joke. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was reading. But then when you've got such big figures actually saying this, you cannot ignore it. And that's where we was with it. So really, I can see this actually being proved that way this season, because I don't think we're going to see the injuries that we had last season. I feel like we are going to be getting more players available because they know that they cannot just walk right back into this side. I feel, and don't just hear me out on this one, I feel like if Maguire comes in and does well, I think Ruben will keep him in the side. I do. That's what I think this coach is going to bring to Manchester United. And that's the whole point of what we're saying at the top of this show. Lissandro's out. Doesn't matter. Ruben will make these players play a system where an individual player isn't put up there for everybody to scrutinise as much as it was before. I don't feel like these players will be singled out as much. We yesterday went through players that probably struggled in a system, and that was the argument. What I'm trying to make the point of here is something completely different, and that is that I think Harry Maguire will be fine in this system as one of the three centre-backs. I do. I believe it. I think he's got the protection he needs there. I think Harry would be the centre of the three centre-backs. I think with one centre-back either side of him covering and Agati in front of him, I feel like he will be fine in that. And I think rotation will come with that. But the big point that I'm making is if Lissandro is out and Lissandro doesn't come back straight away and someone else is in his place and playing well, I don't think he walks straight back into the side. Not under Amorim. Look, opinion-wise, you can say that he's a better defender. Of course he is. We've seen that, I feel, and not what we want to do. I think he's comfortable on the ball. I feel okay with him on the ball. But still, I don't think Ruben Amorim is going to look at players that are out at the moment and go, oh, I'm really concerned about that. He's got more than enough in there. Look, when it's all fit, when everyone's fit and everyone's available, I think it will be De Ligt, Yoro and Martinez. I think that's the back three that everyone's talking about. But don't be surprised if Luke Shaw's in there, if Harry Maguire's in there at one point, and it's completely changing all of the time. Everyone is going to be trained to play exactly the same way in the same system, and Ruben Amorim will make them all feel like they can conquer that role. And that's what the difference is. Whereas before, we're missing players were like, oh, God, that's it now. Because no one was confident in what was happening on the pitch. No one believed in the previous plan. So when they came on, they wasn't really giving everything they've got, I don't think, because they knew they were going to be dropped the following week. Even if they had a man of the match performance, they'd be out for the favourite. And this time it's different. Well, where it is now, it's different. And we can only talk about what's actually going on right now. And I believe that that is what is happening right now. Clean slate. Everyone's got a clean slate. Everyone's got an opportunity under Amorim, and I feel like we are now going to see players take advantage of their opportunity that they're given, because I think they will get opportunities like Ahmad has done. Dalot needs to do the same, like we just said. And when someone steps in for Evans, which I think they will do this game at Bodo Glimt, they'll be looking at that and going, actually, if I play well tonight, I give everything that I've got, I listen to the instruction, and I show that I can play this system, I've probably got a good chance of starting against Everton at the weekend. And then you get another game. And then you're rolling into the big ones. The Arsenal, the Spurs, the City that we've got all in a row away from home. And maybe this is a turning point for a lot of these Manchester United players. When the coach installs the confidence within you that you're going to play a few games if you play well, their game goes on another level. The stop-start nature of the chopping and changing of what Erik ten Hag was doing at Manchester United, and not just him, other managers as well, that gets into the players' heads. That makes them feel like there's no point in even putting in the maximum efforts. It does, and you can say the professionals and that doesn't happen, but it does. The human, if you know that you ain't going to be playing the following week, no matter what you do, you're not going to be mentally prepared properly. So that's how I look at it, and that's a big thing that I want to see keep on happening at United. I think Ruben Amorim will do it. I do. Thanks for the 100 likes plus already, everyone. Keep liking the video, guys. Make sure that you have also subscribed to miss no content going forward. We got you covered with all Manchester United news, everybody. So make sure that you have subscribed and hit that bell notification button. I bring you everything, all of the news, everything that's happening right now. I've just got some interesting stuff coming out. Sky have been putting out some decent stats. I'll bring you all of the updates as it happens, and if there's anything that comes on the show, then I will bring it up for you. We just had some interesting stuff come up from Sky. United attempted 69.2% of their passes in their own half at Portman Road, the club's highest percentage in the Premier League since Opta began recording the data. What? Manchester United attempted a record high percentage of passes inside their own half in Ruben Amorim's first game in charge. Wow. The highest since then was against Manchester City in 2020. So 69%. So does that mean that we're not hitting Hail Mary balls? Does that mean we're not going long with passes? What do we look at there in terms of what that means and them stats actually are telling us? There's a different approach. There is definitely a different approach to Manchester United's game. 100%, that's how you read that. Or that's how I read that anyway. It's got to be. Let's have a quick look at another one. We've got another stat coming up. Only against Fulham and Chelsea did United run more than their opponents in terms of sprints. The team was always beaten. So, in terms of every single Premier League game this season, Manchester United's effort or running stats, we've always been less than the opposition, which is horrendous. It really is. In terms of what did we do against Ipswich Town? We did 108 kilometres and they did 114 kilometres. I said this before. These stats are going to come up and start to affect Manchester United. And people will look at this as a negative on Ruben Amorim. Just scrunch it up, throw it in the bin. Don't listen to it. It's absolute garbage. The stats are not lying. But what do you expect these players to do? Look, I said it before, walking around. You look at Manchester United's running stats, for instance. If you've got Marcus Rashford in your side, you're always going to lose that battle because you're playing with 10 men and he doesn't effing run. He doesn't. He gets away with it all of the time. He puts it on. It's fake running. That's what it is. He doesn't sprint. He doesn't put maximum effort in. And he gets protected by the football club. And we know this. Look, if you want to talk about Rashford's qualities, say that people are digging him out continuously, whatever you want to, do it. But you know he runs less. I bet if the stats came up and you looked at every other forward or centre forward in his position within this league, he would be bottom of the table. I guarantee it. You just know. You just know with him exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get around it. He does not put the amount of effort in that Ruben Amorim is going to need going forward. I bet if you put Rasmus Højlund in that side, Manchester United's running stats would be closer to Ipswich's. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. One man can affect that score. So don't let them stats blind you. Don't let them stats actually convince you that it isn't getting any better and it's getting worse under Ruben Amorim. It's a load of crap. That's a good sign, Adam. For our first game under Amorim, we have to keep the ball better. He said this himself. We need to look after the ball better. I'm thinking back here on the previous coaches and managers, back to Van Gaal, when we kept the ball as much as we did yesterday and passed it around. We honestly, sometimes Van Gaal football was putting you to sleep. We had masses and masses of possession, and these were with average players. And we're talking Chris Smalling types of player here, who's never been comfortable on the ball, but he was one of his go-to centre-backs. And Manchester United used to keep the ball for fun under Louis van Gaal. We did. And I feel like that is what we're going to get a little bit of under Ruben Amorim as well. You could see it. I think the stats were, around about 60% possession to Manchester United over the whole game. The second half was up near 70% possession to Manchester United. Ipswich did tire towards the end, and they used, and McKenna was clever, I thought, because he used certain moments in the game to go at United, and there wasn't many of them. United weren't creating anything with the possession. That was the problem, but we already spoke about that. We haven't got a focal point or a forward that's got the right movement. Even Amorim talked about that with Joshua Zirkzee, didn't he? Fitness should never be an issue for professional footballers. I think Amorim's new team will sort it out, says Babs, definitely. 100% agree with Babs on that one. Longo road back to the top. We need a little patience, one game at a time, people. Exactly what Amorim himself said. But one win at a time will definitely keep you climbing. Big game on Thursday, and then Saturday, then it's Arsenal in the week, Wednesday. A week on Wednesday, we play Arsenal at the Emirates. Half a chance. I do believe, a night game at the Emirates definitely suits Manchester United. Sounds crazy that, doesn't it? But I do. I believe that suits United more than going to Emirates on a weekend. I think that they'd had the game before. We'd both be tired. We've got quite a big squad. They've still got a few injuries, I feel, as well. And I think we'll be in a better place by the time we walk out at the Emirates a week on Wednesday. I do. Can't believe we've got 2 games before that. That's how busy we are actually going to be. So I feel like squad will be used, like I said at the top of the show. Opportunity knocks for so many different players at Manchester United right now in that squad. And that's what we need to look at. It's a positive. It is. I really do. Casemiro and Eriksen should have never started. Pure and simple. Once you run past them, they cannot recover. Look, I get it, Trev. I do. I understand it. But Amorim's explanation for that was that he had a bit more time with both of them midfielders. Didn't think that Mainoo was fully ready, obviously. And Agate came on straight away as soon as he could, and he realised that Eriksen and Casemiro will never work. I don't think we're ever going to see Casemiro and Eriksen in an Amorim side in them positions ever again. Together anyway at the same time. Starting a game, that is. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But, look, I feel like we have got other options there. We've got Kobbie Mainoo to come back in. Agate to start a game again. I think it will be Agate and Mainoo. Here's a team for you. Before we move on to the other news, actually, see what you think of this team. When everybody's fit, or when we've got a good core of the fit players all in and ready to go, I think it will be Martinez, Yoro and De Ligt. I think it'll be Mazraoui on the left-hand side as a wing-back. I think it'll be it'll be Ahmad on the right-hand side. I think Dalot sits on the bench. I think he'll have Mainoo and Agate in the 2 holding roles, 6 and 8 / 2 sixes. I think it'll be Mount, Bruno, Højlund. What do you think of that team? Let me know, everybody. Really interesting to get your thoughts on that. But I feel like you have got energy, athleticism, physicality, and we're just missing the goals, really. But we're hoping that Rasmus can turn it around. But I think we've got the right type of levels there. I think youthful, experience, strength, physicality, I think it's there. I do. I like the look of the people and the profiles in that. And that's only me picking from what we've got. Look, you can mix and match that all you want. And yes, I am putting Garnacho on the bench with Rashford. I feel like, do you know what? When Mount gets his chance, I think he's going to take it. It's only injuries that will stop Mason Mount being a regular starter for Amorim. I'm convinced of it. We will see anyway. But yes, I want to get into the other news, which is the transfer news and speculation. Talking about players who can do roles and players who can make this system work. Manchester United are preparing an offer of €60 million plus bonuses for Giovanni Quenda. Now, we've spoken about this many a times, haven't we? And it is news that is continuously circulating right now. We're going to keep getting the transfer news as everything goes forward. It's going to be non-stop. Like, we're into December next week, for God's sake. And the January transfer window is obviously round the corner. I have got a special video coming up later this week as well, so make sure that you do tune in for that one, everyone, because I'll be going through some options in that and getting looking at the transfer window in a completely different way, put it that way. So yes, I do think that United right now, when we're looking at players, I think we can take them all with a pinch of salt or pinch of whatever you want. But we're going to be talking about them. We're going to be talking about all of the possibilities for United going forward. I think we will be looking for someone in January, though. I think needs must. I really do. I think Ineos will want to push the button. Another update from Florian Plettenberg as well. Victor Boniface is on Manchester United's shortlist. If at all, an expensive transfer would only become a serious topic in the summer. United are actively scouting the striker market. If no new striker arrives in January, the club plan to secure one by the summer at the latest. Oh, well, I think Florian Plettenberg there is just stating the bleeding obvious, to be honest. Graham Bailey has been in as well. What do you guys think to Matheus Cunha at Wolves? Now, in the summer, there definitely was rumours about Cunha coming to Manchester United. He was seen as one of the midfield options, but United were fully in on Manuel Ugarte and could not bring anyone else in at that time. Matheus Cunha, I want to get the chat's opinion on him. And obviously, if you are catching up later on as well, get your comments in below on these transfer targets. And let me know if you feel like they could be a realistic one. Again, I think more past January and looking to the summer more than anything. But Matheus Cunha, is he a player that you guys would take? Would you look at him as a feasible option for Manchester United? I mean, he starred against Fulham at weekend. Wolves are turning it around right now. I do like him. I do think he is a good player. Again, it's got to fit the profile. It is, doesn't it? I've listened to all of these transfer rumours, and then I listened to what Ruben Amorim says in his interviews this week and everything that he's brought up in terms of how he wants to work with the squad right now. I can't see anyone coming in January. I really can't. Unless United have an absolute nightmare December. Touch wood, please, that we don't. But I just see Manchester United looking to the summer. I can't see anything happening in January at all. Unless there's a mega loan deal that we can get. And we got a striker there that can get us 20 goals in the back end of the season. Forget it. Nothing. But when you look at what Ruben Amorim has said, he wants to learn these players. He wants to get to know them better. Learn what their traits are and how they are. Then he'll work on the transfer side of it. Working with Dan Ashworth. Generating the profile of player that they need for a certain position, what role he's got to play, physicality factor, fitness, stamina, and all of that jazz. Like, I just don't see that happening in a month and a half. I can't. Like, if you are going to give the head coach a say on transfers, and we all know that he's not going to have full say, he's not going to have complete control. He's said that already, and I think it's been made clear by the club that he's not going to. But still, I feel like we are going to be giving him some form of say on the type of player at least that he wants, and then Ineos will go away and find that profile of player, obviously. But still, I just don't see it happening in a month and a half, and I think we're looking ahead to the summer. So that's why I want to talk more about the players that are actually at Manchester United right now. Why I did start the show on talking about it not being an issue if Martinez is injured. I don't think we'll have as many injuries as we had last year. Under Ten Hag. I wanted to make that point very clear because I feel like there were players in this squad that we do need to sieve out, like we said, and they are part of the problem. There is an issue there that United need to get these players out because I think there are some that are hiding certain things within and don't want to play. So, yeah, that is a major, major problem within this club, I feel. And hopefully, by the end of this season, one way or another, we've got the right amount of results that we need, and we have managed to we've managed to get these players to one side, the ones that we know are definitely needing to be out of the door, and we move on from there. El Nua, left back, Prem proven perfect for this system. I'm getting into the comment section now, everybody, so get your questions and comments in. He's a good player, but at what price could we do better? Yeah, I think we could. I think there are other players out there. Adam, how much would Cunha cost? At least 50 million? Yep. I think he would. I mean, obviously, I like the look of, and I still like and rate Edison from Atalanta. That would be my midfielder. I think he is mustard, to be honest. I think he really is a player that would improve United. Don't mind waiting for the two sporting players in the summer. I think I know what you mean by that. That's got to be Quenda and Gyökeres, Babs. I'm pretty certain. Please give the video a like, everybody. We're creeping up to that 150 mark. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well. Thank you for all your participation through the day on the morning show as well, everyone. Make sure that you are notified by turning the bell notification button on as well. That is important. You won't miss out on the content then, and you will have the opportunity to come in and have your say, because we do like to get your opinions on the live shows. Pedro Oliveira, the new member. What do you think of Branthwaite? Premier League tested already, left-footed. It all depends on Everton. I don't think it's going to be a top priority. I really don't. For some strange reason, even though we're losing 3 centre-backs in the summer, and now in the way I'm looking at the way that Amorim is working, I think, yeah, maybe 1, but don't be surprised if we don't get a centre-back. I think we will, But it all depends on how much money needs to be spent on other areas. And other areas, I mean, the striker is going to take, I reckon, at least half of Manchester United's whole summer budget. That's how badly Manchester United are lacking. And you know what? Even if Marcus Rashford does not leave in the summer, the new striker coming in will end Marcus Rashford's reign as just walking back into this side whenever he feels like turning up. It will end it. One way or another, he will be sieved out. He will be weaned out of this football club. I feel like that's important as well. We need to remember that, you know what, even if no one is bidding for Marcus Rashford this summer, look, he may turn it around. But from what I watched the other night, I can only go off what I've seen. He really didn't look like he gave a shit at all. And I feel like a striker coming in will be the end of him because he doesn't get in ahead of Bruno. I don't think he'll get in ahead of Ahmad or any of the other 10s that we've got in the team. I know Amorim said he can play at 10, he can play at 9. I don't believe in it myself. And I think this summer will be the end of Marcus Rashford one way or the other. Whether he leaves or he doesn't, I don't think he's going to be getting the game time that he's got the last 2 seasons. Definitely not. Amorim can't afford to. He can't afford to have a player and a passenger like that in his side. And that goes for every single player, not just Marcus. What else have we got in there? Dan Ashworth rates Edison, wanted him at Newcastle. I'm hoping, Simon, that is something that we go into the summer with. That mindset, like going in for players like Edison, would definitely change Manchester United's midfield. Exactly what we need. They've not conceded a goal in the Champions League this season, Atalanta. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And he's part of that. He's sat in front of that defence. Yeah, please. All day long. All day long. Adam, in all fairness, half this squad won't be here next season. A lot of these players do not fit into Amorim's system. Busy all summer for Ineos, it looks like, doesn't it? And hopefully it will be a busy summer for Ineos, and we will get the out list that we really want. But I still believe that there is going to be players in this squad starting next season that we don't want, that we have said needed to go this summer. I don't think they can get rid of everyone, which is why I wanted to explain that Rashford scenario with a striker coming in. Even if Rashford isn't gone, I still feel like it will be the end of him as the go-to player up front for Manchester United. Every single manager. Good God, when will they learn? When will they learn? We may have to make big moves, such as selling Garnacho and Bruno. I don't think Bruno will go. I think the last chance for Bruno was last summer. I mean, he's probably worth a little bit now. I think he is worth a little bit of money. I mean, what are you getting for Rashford right now? 40 million max? I don't think anyone's paying any more than that. He's not worth it. Bruno Fernandes, 20, 30 million. Garnacho, you could maybe scrape together a bit more for him because of his age and his quality, but I don't see United ever getting rid of Garnacho. Not yet anyway. 300k a week players, and they can't even run. It's a joke. They should have some kind of performance contracts. I wish they did. They're never going to get that though. Get Lookman from Atalanta, friend with Højlund, and can be lethal together. I can remember when he was in the Premier League. Again, another late developer. I'm hoping we're going to get that with Rasmus Højlund to do. No, I'm not on the red carpet tonight next, Samuel. I'm off tonight. I've got my lad tonight, so I'm not on the show tonight. I'm having a night off on the red carpet. But yes, I will be back probably next week, mate. So yes, it's going to be a busy old week as well. We'll see if we can get any access this week ahead of the game against Bodo Glimt. Maybe we can get a close-up little look as to Amorim training. We don't know yet. Hopefully we'll find out tomorrow and we can update you then. Update on the United couple, by the way, everybody. We've had to just postpone filming at the moment due to being incredibly busy. And obviously I do it with Kaz. Kaz's work at the moment is just off the scale crazy. So we have to put the other side of our life ahead of the podcast at the moment. There just isn't enough time for us to get it done, so we're just postponing it for the time being, and then we'll reassess it going through into the Christmas period. But for now, not. Sorry to disappoint everybody on that one. I really am. We love doing it, but we have that many commitments at the moment. It is literally impossible for us to get it out and done. There is just too much going on, not to go into detail on things, but yes, it's not dead in the water by any means, but still, we have to prioritise, I'm afraid. So I just wanted to update everybody on that, so you all knew, in case you was waiting around for it. I know a lot of people are, and I've been asking about it. So yeah, I do apologise on that side of things, but it has got to a stage where we are absolutely crazy. Like, we're running football talks as well, the other channel, and the QR code on your screen right there for that one as well, guys. And we've just got a lot going on. That's all I'll say. A lot. That pretty much sums up the show, everybody. Nice and chilled, nice and easy. Thank you all for joining us. If anything news-wise comes out overnight, I've got you covered. But until tomorrow morning for your 8 o'clock morning update show, have a great evening, everybody. Thank you, mods. Thank you, new members. And obviously new subscribers to the show tonight. I love you all. And I will see you all tomorrow. Like, share and subscribe. And make sure that you are afoot of all Manchester United news by following Man United, by following Forever United TV. Thanks, everyone.